My name is Carolyn Tweetmeyer. I live in Joliet, Illinois. I have 7 biological children, and currently 4 are adopted from Ethiopia, and we have 2 more on the way. I think all kids are special needs kids. All orphans are special needs orphans, but my kids specifically, 2 of them are HIV positive. Actually, one's HIV positive and one's classified as stage 4 AIDS.
Wow. So how did you end up just making a decision to adopt HIV positive kids?
Initially, we had no idea that it was possible to do an HIV adoption. We'd never heard of such a thing, and we had settled on adopting one special needs girl from India, and that kind of all just, I think that was our plan, and God had other plans for us. So we were introduced to the idea through an agency here in Illinois, and initially my first thought was, how could I possibly endanger my entire family by bringing a child with HIV into my home? And through some research I discovered that was absolutely untrue and impossible, and educated myself further, and then we made the determination shortly thereafter that an HIV positive adoption was definitely for our family.
So what are the misnomers that you hear a lot regarding HIV positive adoption that people think?
The main one when you're discussing adoption, first of all, people fear that it'll be transmitted throughout their entire family, and that's absolutely untrue. HIV has never been transmitted in any type of a normal family situation ever. Not in a school, not in a home, never. HIV is transmitted in just a couple of ways, through intravenous drug use, through sexual contact, and through birth or breastfeeding. That's it. It's not transmitted in any other way. Not hugs, not kisses. Your kids can share drinks, share bathtubs, share anything. It's not transmitted in any other way. The other misnomer is that that these children have a shortened lifespan, and that you would have to plan a funeral if you plan an adoption, and that's absolutely incorrect as well. The new medication now is creating such an incredible life for these children, for these people with HIV. They can live a normal lifespan. There's no reason to believe that they won't. They can get married. They can have children. It's not by any means an easy life, because the stigma more than anything. But these medications are allowing them to have a very full, healthy life. Project Hopeful, actually Hopeful is the longest acronym you've ever heard in your life. It's helping orphans and parents eliminate further unnecessary loss of time, dignity, and life. It began when I adopted my first sibling group of 3, and one of my sons was HIV positive, and we realized that the immigration process would require for him to stay anywhere between an additional 3 to 9 months after he was adopted in country in order to bring him home. So he would have, in essence, medical insurance and a family here and our last name, but be stuck in country because he had HIV. We found that to be unacceptable, and from that point, Project Hopeful was born in an effort to change that. Currently, we're still working with the immigration process. We are educating, encouraging, and enabling families to adopt children with HIV from all over the world. It's not just an Africa issue. We've worked with 12 countries, and hope to work with more in the near future. Well, for us in particular, we never had a penny when we began the adoption process. We really believed that no matter what, that God wanted this to happen, and it was going to happen one way or the other. And through each of our adoptions, we've had miracle after miracle to make sure that we had every bit we needed by the end of the adoption. And when I say miracles, I mean miracles.
Wow.
And there's a support network out there. There's a lot of families that are willing to help, through various means, and a lot of encouragement out there. 2.6 billion professed Christians in the world, and that only if 7% would commit to caring for one orphan, there would be no orphan crisis. Actually, it started when I was probably 6 or 7 years old, and the drought that was happening in Ethiopia was on the news quite often and on TV. Oh, whoops! Whoops, it's right there. Thank you. Is that a flower? Yeah. Thanks. A lot of times when we're asked about why we would choose to adopt, like what would make us want to do that, I always would think in my head, I'd have 1,000 answers, but I would think in my head, really, it's just not about me. And that's the reality of it. Really, I feel like we're missing out so much by not really grabbing onto that. It's the heart of God. It's the very heart of God to care for orphans and widows.